Think about what you could buy with this $10 bill right now. Maybe a couple of coffees or a quick lunch. Now go back 50 years. With that exact same bill, you could walk out with bags full of groceries, treats, and household supplies. The money itself hasn't changed, but its ability to fill a shopping bag has. Economists call this the muscle of your money, your purchasing power. But over time, prices of everyday items drift upward. Because things cost more, that same dollar bill works harder to lift the exact same goods. Its muscle gets relatively weaker. This steady upward push of prices is what we call inflation. Because this shift happens so gradually over the years, it's hard to tell exactly how much value is slipping away without a consistent tracking tool. Looking back to the mid-20th century, you'll see gasoline selling for under 50 cents a gallon. Those low prices applied to almost everything. Movie tickets, haircuts, clothes, and rent all cost a fraction of what they do today. Since rising prices impact everything from your daily commute to your weekend fun, keeping track requires a tool that looks at the entire economy at once. In the United States, that job falls to a government agency, the Bureau of Labor Statistics. They can't monitor every single transaction in the country. Instead, they focus strictly on the buying habits of a typical family. To keep score, they use a tool called the Consumer Price Index, or the CPI. Picture the CPI as a shopping cart of typical goods and services. Analysts ring up this exact cart every month. If a $100 cart costs $102 today, that 2% difference is the official inflation rate. Prices go up when there's an imbalance between the amount of money in the system and the number of available items to buy. On the supply side, a storm might ruin a crop, or a breakdown in the supply chain might shut down a factory. When items become rare, sellers naturally raise their prices. On the demand side, consumers might have more money to spend but fewer things to buy. As they compete for what's left, they inadvertently bid up the prices. This upward pressure is simply the mechanical result of buyers competing for limited resources. If prices were the only things moving, it would be easy to worry that everyday life would eventually become impossible to afford. But there is another side to the scale: your income. The wages and salaries people earn act as a counterbalance to those rising prices. As items in our massive shopping cart get more expensive, average incomes generally increase to match those new costs. A healthy economy relies on this dynamic balance, where purchasing power stays steady because wages grow alongside prices. We often hear our grandparents talk about buying a candy bar for just a nickel. The part they often leave out is that back then, a typical weekly allowance or starting salary was proportionally just as small. That nickel was just as hard to earn as a dollar is today. In the end, the specific numbers on a price tag matter far less than the relative purchasing power your income provides.